Hey everybody, John C.
Denise Richards and the lovely Lulu.
Welcome back to another All Things Home, where we talk about things that have to do with your home.
Inside and out.
Both sides. We love to talk to you about that. And then every once in a while we talk about things that have absolutely nothing to do with your home.
Nothing. Like
Guns
and friends.
and friends. Today is the 19th when this video is coming out, January 19th. And today is two things that we specifically looked up today, National Friend Day and
National Gun Appreciation Day. So, do you take your friend target shooting? What do you do on this day?
Yeah, you could knock out both of the National Day items that we're talking about if you took your friend hunting today.
True.
Are you going to, I don't know, how do you appreciate your gun? Like, what do? You rub it? You clean it? What do you do with it?
Well, I think I would appreciate the fact that I have the right to bear it.
You have
How
the right to
about
bear
that?
it. You can bear a gun if you want.
That's right.
And
That's the
US.
appreciation. Yes.
That is the
I
appreciation.
believe so.
Well, it's a good day.
It is a good day. What did we talk about last week, John?
So last week we talked about housing affordability. That was a great topic.
That's
you remember
right.
that?
Yes.
That was a good topic. So housing affordability has changed quite a bit over the last, I would say, probably 10 months. And it's changed quite a bit because of interest rates.
It definitely has. It's changed. It's impacted people negatively, especially when it comes to rent. What we're going to start to see, though, as the inflation lowers, we're going to start to see that affordability even out.
Yeah.
Which is starting to happen. We're starting to see it now.
Good point. Yeah, so the interest rates basically they doubled pretty much over the last...
They did. And we're
11
actually
months.
still 2 1/8 higher right now than we were this time last year.
Interesting. So watch that video if you want to hear what we were talking about with housing affordability. We had a fun little chart, graph type thing that showed what those numbers look like, but also what they could look like here in 2023. And
Very little bit of statistics, though, because we're not a statistics show.
this isn't the statistics show. It's even hard for me to say that. Now, I do have a statistics show if you want to see that.
That's
a
right.
different one of my channels, and feel free to watch those. I talk about Lee and Collier County stats. But today, our topic, we're going to lead right into mortgage rates. And this topic that I found from the National Association of Realtors, also known as NAR. Us fancy realtors like to say NAR, N-A-R. Everybody's got their abbreviations. And this gentleman that wrote the article, well, at least he's quoted in the article, his last name is Yoon, Y-U-N, Lawrence Yoon. I see quotes and comments from him all the time. He is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. He says that mortgage rates are going to drop, most likely below 6% this year. And you know what's interesting, when I was reading this article, I remember you talking about that probably in one of our videos about 8 months ago when rates had started to go back up. You predicted that they would go up and then they would bounce right back down, maybe not as low as 3%, but that they would come back down to something way more reasonable.
Exactly, and it's taking a little bit longer than what I had thought, but it's happening. And I think you're going to see in the next few days big changes in the mortgage rates.
Yeah.
Big changes.
Yeah.
We're now below the 7s, and this article talks about being in the 5s, and absolutely, I see that happening in the next, I would say, 6 to 8 months that we're in the 5s.
Yeah. Talks about inflation being a factor of this dropping as well, too. As inflation started to come back down, we will see the interest rates also drop as well. I want to read this last paragraph in this article. It says, this downward trend of mortgage rates gives a scrap of hope for many homebuyers for the months ahead. NAR's senior economist says that he's forecasting a 6% rate from, let's say, with a 6% rate instead of a 7% that buyers were paying. That would be about $2,700 less every year on their mortgage. And I thought that was pretty interesting, that just that 1% change from a 7% interest rate down to a 6% interest rate on average, now average home purchase price, is going to reduce somebody's expenses $2,700. That's a big chunk.
It's considerable. One percentage point on your mortgage is just huge.
I mean, that's over $200 a month.
Yes.
Less that they're going to be paying if they get an interest rate of 6%. As a result, owning a home becomes more affordable. And this is really what caught my eye, about 1.4 million more renters will be buying this year because of that. Back to the affordability, like what we talked last week. more 1.4 million renters will be able to purchase because of that rate drop.
We're going to see people breaking their lease to get out of that expensive lease to buy, because it will be less to buy than it is to rent.
Yeah. And then the last little piece is said, and 4.3 million homeowners, so people who currently have homes, will be looking to get back into the market of purchasing, selling their home and purchasing their next home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a big thing too, because a lot of people have held on to their house because they may have an interest rate of 3.5%, 4.5%. So the market inventory has stayed pretty steady, especially here in Southwest Florida. We haven't seen a huge shoot up in inventory, which has helped prices, of course, stay steady as well too. A lot of people think the real estate market's going to tank, but I mean, we're not seeing that right now. I'm not even seeing any signs of that.
I'm still hearing people talk about that we're in a housing crisis.
Where
Are you? Or maybe it's happening in Chicago. I don't know, but it's not happening here.
It's not happening here, yeah. So a lot of our market news is regional for Southwest Florida, and I think it expands even into the whole state of Florida. And there are some areas that are struggling with getting a home sold. Like you said, Chicago, some big cities are having some of those issues. But here in Southwest Florida, if you list a home, chance of it selling is really, really high.
It's incredibly high. I mean, people are still chomping at the bit to buy a house. They just are. Yeah. And I think now that the rates have come down, we're seeing a big increase in activity.
Yeah, and that was the next article that we're just going to hit on just briefly, and that is mortgage applications show a chunky increase.
Chunky!
And this, I love that word, chunky. That's so funny using that in the title, but chunky increases. And you were just saying before we started this, just within the last week, you've seen with your business an increase.
An uptick. People that were sitting on the sidelines waiting, they're done waiting. They see just a little bit of an improvement in interest rates and they're ready to go. And they know I can get them 2% below market value.
Nice. That's awesome.
Rate. Yes.
That's a good deal. That's awesome. So mortgage applications are already starting to pick back up because of this move down in interest rates as it continues to get closer and closer to 6%.
It's a really great sign. I heard on MBS Highway today, Barry Habib told us that the retail spending was down 21% for December, which is a really huge indication that the recession numbers are just getting better and better. So the Fed hiking the rate, it's working.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the tool they use to help with that, right? Let's connect them before we leave today. Let's connect them with somebody that we know, like, and trust. And who should that be?
Chris Schultz. He is with Modern Woodman America. He is a financial strategist.
Awesome.
He's a financial planner. He's amazing. He's got so much integrity. Great guy to talk to, easy to talk to. If you've never talked with a financial planner before and maybe you're a little intimidated, he is a great person to go to.
He's relaxed. He's not salesy, not pushy, just an all-around quality guy. So if you are thinking or you need a roadmap to what you're going to do in retirement, what you should do with some funds that you have, or if you just need help getting started on saving some funds for retirement, wherever you're at in your journey, Chris is a great guy. He would be glad to sit down with you for 30 minutes and just get to know you and what your goals are.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I know. That's why I said it for us today, because I usually say it really good.
You're so perfect, John.
Yes. So reach out to Chris Schultz, and he would be glad to help you with that. His contact information is below. And talking about below, we didn't mention it yet, but go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button for us. We would greatly appreciate that, and I know Lulu would too if she's falling asleep today. Stay awake, little Lulu. But hit that like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. And until next week on All Things Home, hope you have a great week.
Bye.